Hello, everyone. Hope your Wednesday is going well. Thank you for joining us here today as we'll go ahead and go over several of the largest incidents that impacted international travel this last month, as well as several of the largest upcoming events and incidents taking place over the course of June. My name is Nolan Parent, and I am the program manager here at SafeAbroad. And I'll be joined by several of our fellow analysts as we go ahead and present. But without further ado, we'll get right into it. On the left-hand side, you could see the events that we'll be talking about today. But on the right-hand side, you can see also several of the reports that the Intel staff has worked on, analyzing dengue fever, hantavirus, as well as some of the leading causes of drownings on study abroad trips and the factors that play into that. These reports are available on our website under the Intelligence tab and in the Reports category. On May 5th through the 17th, the Italian Open attracted hundreds of thousands of tourists and visitors to the Foro Italico in Rome, in the northern part of Rome. It brought on around 400,000 spectators over the 14 days, which placed a significant demand on the public transportation infrastructure of Rome, which required enhanced crowd management and traffic control plans. ATAC, the main public transportation company in Rome, operated metro lines for an additional 2 hours during this period, as well as added around 100 more bus trips to try to alleviate some of that congestion and reduce travel delays. So, safe abroad travelers were advised to confirm travel routes and to remain vigilant in crowded areas during this time. May 12th saw significant flight cancellations in Brussels due to a union strike. The strike affected Brussels airport very heavily, with around 60% of departing flights on the day being canceled at Brussels airport, with even more drastic effect at Charleroi, also known as Brussels South Airport, that operated no flights at all during the strike. The strike also impacted several other public transportation systems, but the flights and the airports were far and away the most heavily impacted. This canceled both the short haul and long haul international flights during this period. So, safe abroad travelers were advised to expect the significant disruption and to plan around that and to check with their specific carrier during this period.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kira Moore, and I'm an intelligence analyst and project manager here at SafeAbroad. The Nakba Day protest took place in London, UK on May 16th and attracted large crowds, including activists, community groups, and supporters from all across the United Kingdom. The march moved through key areas of the city, such as Hyde Park, Buckingham Palace, as well as Trafalgar Square, which resulted in temporary road closures all across London. In addition, a counter-protest part of the Unite the Kingdom took place along parts of the route, prompting enhanced police presence, as well as separating opposing groups and maintaining public order. Over 4,000 authorities were deployed and implemented crowd management measures to mitigate the risk of isolated confrontations as well as disruptions. So, safe abroad travelers were advised to anticipate localized disruptions and allow additional travel time when moving through central London. Travelers were also encouraged to avoid areas where opposing groups were assembled, follow police instructions, as well as monitor local media and transportation updates.
How are you doing today? My name is Eric. I'm a fellow intelligence analyst here at Safe Abroad. Shifting gears from Europe to Latin America, more specifically Bolivia, where we have noticed nationwide political protest, specifically impacting Sucre, which is the capital of Bolivia, and La Paz, which is the federal district, where we've seen protesters clash with security forces. So on May 27th, the Bolivian Congress passed a small amendment to an existing uh, executive power that's given to the Bolivian president to declare state of emergencies, and where it's more easily accessible for him to deploy the military and suspend all civil liberties amidst protest. And this such legislation comes after failed domestic policies enacted by President Paz of Bolivia in his attempt to rescue the downward spiraling Bolivian economy. And overall, we have seen multiple clashes between protesters and security forces. And we've also seen protesters kind of enacting roadblocks within the city and outside of the city. And we have noticed a lot of violence along those roadblocks. Safer-bought travelers were advised to avoid all protest, plan all alternate travel routes as well. But stemming from this event from May 27th, on May 29th, the United States Embassy issued a warning within Bolivia that all of its consular operations were to close until further notice, noticing the large scale of violence is occurring throughout both Sucre and La Paz, as well as nationwide. Within that event, SafeAbroad continued to issue to its travelers to avoid all protest, obviously planned alternate travel routes, but as well to enroll in the U.S. Embassy STEP program to be on alert and get any notifications in terms of what to do and where to get secure to get to secure location.
The Stockholm Marathon is a major international event that was held on May 30th, starting and finishing at the historic Stockholm Olympic Stadium. The course passed through several central districts and created widespread temporary disruption across the city. This year, participation reached record levels of nearly 25,000 runners, significantly increasing foot traffic in key public spaces. In addition, large sections of the route were closed to traffic throughout the afternoon, with police and event marshals deploying around the field and around the course. SafeAbroad travelers were advised to expect extensive road closures, and travelers were also advised to use the metro whenever possible, allowing additional travel time and avoiding crossing the marathon route during peak running periods.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gabriella Hoover, and I'm another intelligence analyst here at SafeAbroad. To kick off our upcoming events, the Primavera Sound Music Festival will run from June 3rd to June 7th. The event is an annual 4-day multi-genre music festival that will attract hundreds of thousands of concertgoers from around the world and will be centralized at the Parktel Forum venue, attracting over 200,000 attendees last year, with over half traveling from outside of Spain. The festival is one of the Mediterranean's largest. However, amid the festival's growing popularity with renowned music sensations as headliners, the festival has a tendency to overbook venue capacity. International airports in Catalonia and major roads around the Parc del Forum's peripheries, such as Ronda Litoral, will experience a significant influx in travelers to meet demand. This means that for public transportation services, including metro, bus, taxi, and rideshare services, they are likely to operate at or near capacity, particularly during peak arrival and departure periods and immediately before and after headline performances around 5 p.m. to until 1 a.m. SafeAbroad travelers, both attending and otherwise, should experience increased demand for transportation around the venue, causing delays and heavy traffic disruptions. Individuals attending the festival should also remain vigilant against petty theft, against pickpocketing, which historically increases in crowded tourist and event areas. Travelers are additionally advised to allow for extra time for movement around the city and remain on high alert when traversing impacted areas.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Delaney. I'm an intelligence analyst with SafeAbroad. First, the Monaco Grand Prix will occur this weekend in Monte Carlo, Monaco, so from June 5th to June 7th. The annual prestigious Formula One race will bring hundreds of thousands to Monaco for the weekend, which is impressive considering Monaco is less than a square mile in size and has a population of 38,000. Experts expect 8 travelers for every resident of Monaco. While there's not a large population of students studying abroad in Monaco, the event will strain neighboring public transportation infrastructure. Trainer bus from Nice and Cannes, France is an extremely popular means to travel into Monte Carlo for the weekend and a popular place to stay and fly into for the weekend as well. While they have added additional trains and flights, crowds, road closures, and heightened security measures in and surrounding Monaco will cause delays. SafeAbroad travelers are advised to expect delays if traveling around affected areas and to expect heightened security measures. Travelers should plan additional time for traveling if using local public transportation as well. And then next, the Warsaw Ironman race in Warsaw, Poland, also occurring from June 5th to June 7th. The Ironman is the world's most popular triathlon race that visits major cities around the world. This race is a half Ironman, so it's 70.3 miles, including a 1.2-mile swim, 56-mile bike ride, and 13.1-mile run. Roads will be closed around Warsaw to ensure the safety of spectators and participants. Race organizers are expecting record attendance this year at about 2,500 athletes and many more people attending as spectators. Many athletes and spectators will be traveling from outside the country, resulting in an influx of visitors to the city. There will be events throughout the weekend, but the actual race will occur on Sunday, June 7th from 8 a.m. to 5:45 p.m. SafeAbroad travelers should anticipate road closures and heavier traffic on public transportation. Travelers should also anticipate heightened security throughout Warsaw.
Next up, we have the Criterium du Dauphine. It's one of the largest one-week races on the professional cycling calendar every year. So this race is of special emphasis due to serving as a historic warm-up for cyclists participating in the Tour de France in early July. As a result, notable cyclists will participate and draw in more spectators. In addition, this year's route will span across 8 different days, passing through southeast France and covering over 700 miles. Based off of previous year's data and similar size races, it can be estimated that attendance will be in the hundreds of thousands across these 8 different days. Towns hosting the starting and ending stages will experience the most intense traffic and delays as well as extended road closures. Generally, roads are closed between 1 to 2 hours before the start and then at the end of a stage as well. As a result, SafeAbroad travelers are advised to plan alternative routes in advance, monitor different race delays, and the local news or the UCI website for more updated information.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Ethan Rosenblum. I'm an intelligence analyst. And so for this event on June 11th, Mexico City, Mexico, the FIFA World Cup 2026 opening match will occur. So Mexico City will experience a substantial influx of domestic and international visitors for the opening match at Estadio Azteca. Now, this is also making a piece of history as it's the first stadium to host 3 opening World Cup matches. So the FIFA World Cup is one of the largest sporting events in the world and occurs every 4 years. The last tournament in 2022 reported around 5.6 billion viewers across the span of the tournament. So it just showcases its wide reach. And Mexico will host a total of 13 matches across Mexico City, Guadalajara, and Monterrey. Mexico City will have the most at 5 and Guadalajara and Monterrey at 4, respectively. The opening match will attract a large number of spectators. Now, it's important to note that Mexico is not the only country hosting the World Cup. It will be the Mexico, Canada, and the US, and Mexico and Canada will each host 13, with the US at 78. So significant travel disruptions and heightened security is expected. So SafeAbroad travelers are advised to anticipate travel delays and maintain situational awareness, especially if they are going to the games or around the surrounding areas, whether that's watch parties, bars, wherever they're going to be going, just making sure that they're aware of their surroundings in public spaces, as during the World Cup, tensions can rise. And we saw this in Paris recently after PSG won over Arsenal in the Champions League final in Paris. The celebrations turned to the streets and it became violent. So just being aware of your surroundings and especially how tensions can rise during the World Cup. And that's that.
June 12th is the Independence Day in the Philippines, where localized celebrations are expected to cause travel delays. The Independence Day celebrations honor the nation's independence from Spain in 1898, and it also falls on a Friday, which makes it a long weekend, which your travelers should be aware of. Local communities celebrate with flag-raising ceremonies, parades, and several other cultural events, with the largest disruptions taking place in Manila. Notably, these will cause road closures in Manila, especially around Rizal Park, where a government-led wreath-laying ceremony will cause several of the city's largest roads and most important routes in downtown Manila for around 6 hours in the morning to the early afternoon. So SafeAbroad travelers are advised to expect those travel delays while also remaining respectful of the celebrations.
From June 15th to 19th, resident doctors across England are scheduled to strike after the British Medical Association announced a 4-day walkout over ongoing disputes regarding pay and working conditions. The strike follows years of negotiations between the government and medical unions, with resident doctors arguing that their pay has not been kept at pace with inflation and increased workplace demands. The latest action marks the 16th strike related to the long-running pay dispute, and further strike action may spill over into July if an agreement is not reached. The UK government has thus far declined to offer additional pay concessions, citing the concerns over affordability and sustainability of public spending. Since resident doctors make up nearly half of the medical workforce within the National Health Service, healthcare services across England are expected to face disruptions during the strike period. While emergency departments, urgent care services, and most general practitioner services are expected to remain operational, services like non-emergency NHS appointments and planned surgeries are likely to be delayed or postponed. Hospitals may also experience staffing shortages, resulting in longer wait times for patients. Safe abroad travelers in England should anticipate potential disruptions at NHS facilities, and travelers requiring non-urgent medical treatment should plan ahead and monitor local healthcare provider updates throughout the strike period.
Hi, everyone. My name is Aiden, and I am also an intelligence analyst. From June 23rd to the 25th in Dalian, China, the World Economic Forum's new champions will be holding their annual meeting. Over 1,500 government officials and business leaders are expected to travel there for that summit, and they will be traveling from 44 different countries, including China, the United States, and several European nations. The event is likely to trigger an enhanced security presence throughout Dalian, including access controls, road restrictions, and enhanced security around the venue itself, and then traffic disruptions resulting from all of that. And that will all likely be situated around the Dalian International Conference Center, where the event is being held. In terms of implications for travelers, Dalian is a popular tourism destination domestically within China. So that is already an area that is strained by frequent visitors, and this summit is likely to put additional strain on the accommodations and hotels that are available, in addition to the public transit. So travelers in that area or heading there should expect delays in travel and should make their accommodation plans in advance and double check them before they go.
Okay, so from June 29th to July 12th in the London, United Kingdom, we have the 2026 Wimbledon Championships. So over 500,000 people will visit London to watch Wimbledon, one of the world's most prestigious tennis tournaments. It is the third of 4 major tennis Grand Slam tournaments, and it is also the only one played on grass. Now, the Wimbledon Championships is an annual 2-week tennis tournament held in London. 42,000 spectators, including high-profile celebrities, government officials, royalty, attend each day, with over 500,000 attendees in total. Now, there are 18 courts, and so the main court, being center court, can hold roughly 15,000 people. So in the image, you can see that's the one with the stadium. And heightened security, road closures, and strain on public transit will cause localized travel delays. So safe abroad travelers are advised to plan travel routes in advance and expect delays.
And that brings us to the end of our presentation here today. I'd like to thank you for joining us. On the screen there, you can see several of the services that we offer here at Safe Abroad to support both yourself and your institution according to your needs. There's also a contact email and a phone number if you'd like to consult about how we can help you fulfill those needs, including your duty of care and whatnot. At this time, we'll stay on to answer any additional questions you may have. But if not, everybody have a great rest of their week, and we hope to see you soon.